southern people, like a small town, nothing's real. Mama's still doing wrong, don't tell the preacher. Nothing really changes except the weather. If you can't say something nice, you don't say nothing at all. Don't want you up in my life, 'cause you talk too much. I could leave it all, I'm feeling low. Find myself on a brand new road. If you can't say something nice, you don't say nothing at all. Don't want you up in my life, 'cause you talk too much, y'all. Gotta go to church on Sunday, get a dose of the Southern truth. Grandma's house is just down the way, and she's missing you.
And good morning, Dave in the AM, aka the Cornbread Man, with you on a Saturday, Southern Talk. It is absolutely a beautiful day. My voice is not completely back, but I do feel better. And in fact, my good friend Paul gave me a nasal stick today that he says is absolutely great. And I appreciate him doing that. We had a great morning. Lots of things we're working on behind the scenes to prepare for some hopefully great things happen later for the podcast and maybe for you too. Some opportunities to help. So there's a lot of things we're working on, but there's some videos. We absolutely, some days the stars line up. You go out in the world and some days you feel, what's the old expression? Some days you feel like the windshield, some days you feel like the bug, right? Some days, everything just lines up. Good morning, Killer Carl. Speaking of a guy who has great Saturdays, that's Killer Carl. The Killer Carl Rumble podcast. Make sure you are a follower of Killer Carl. If you need to see how that is, there it is. Look for that logo, and you will not be disappointed. They got great things. Talking about great things going on. Killer Carl's got great things going on. He's worked his butt off. That's how he does it. He works his butt off. And that's the secret. I was listening to a guy in Mississippi. He does this thing where he does the sports show. But I saw, and it's hilarious. It makes me laugh every time. What I didn't know is he has started a small business. And this morning late last night, I was so encouraged after I came off the air. It was a really good show. I felt horrible though, and went to bed. I was watching this video in the middle of the night, which just happens because I just can't sleep, especially when I don't feel good. Anyway, this guy, I didn't know he started a business when he was 53 years old. His brother, his partner, he's 60. And what he was is he was encouraging another guy that said, don't matter when you start, just do it, you know. And, there's going to be failures along the way. There's going to be great things. It takes a lot of work. But if you love what you're doing, do it. And, that is evident in people who are successful. They just keep working. They keep digging. And I really enjoyed the video. I want to get that video. I reached out to him and just told him what it meant because I'm 60. I'm 60. I probably look more older, but I'm 60. And you just can't quit. If you believe in something, you just got to dig. You got to go. We just don't know how much time we have on this earth. So it don't matter if you're 25 or 75. And some people might say the 75 person's got longer. Well, you don't know that. But the secret to success is to keep working your tail off and, keep getting better at what you do. And that's Killer Carl. I don't ain't blowing smoke. I mean, I admire him for what he's doing. I'm not jealous. I'm admiring him. I'm encouraged by it. I will promote him because if I wasn't doing it, and even if I was, I'm going to promote him because he's killing it on a lot of level, no pun intended, and working it, and that's what you do. And he's not there because of a silver spoon. He's there because he worked his butt off, and he continues to do that. But then he gives back to small creators like us, and you can't. That's what you do, but I can't thank him enough. So thank you, Killer. You're a blessing, and I mean that on many levels. And thanks for stopping by. I love you too, man. But he's passionate. He helps a lot of creators, and all those creators, I'm now friends with those. And it's a great family of creators. That's what's great about Rumble. And we got Pickaxe coming along. They're going to link up really well. And there's just fantastic things ahead. Like I said, the stars lined up this morning. I was meeting my friend Paul. We've got some things we're working on behind the scenes. But along with that, God's just using that. Two brothers in Christ. Our story is amazing. We used to do a podcast on the radio years and years. I mean, a long time ago, 25 years ago or something, 25 years ago. And we were just today talking about how good God has been to us and how he's brought us back together. And same thing with Rob. We did some things years ago, came back together. We're all coming back together. And it's like God is just using this platform in so many ways. And the biggest result out of it is some people are going to get right with God. That's what's going to happen. It's not about me. It's not about him. It's about the greater good of getting people ready to go into the kingdom of God. And anyway, we were just working on so many things, and the Holy Spirit's just speaking to our hearts, and we're sitting there and we're just like, it's just amazing. And anyway, sometimes when somebody's late, you think it's wasted time. No, there's no wasted time. Do something with it. But sometimes God has a plan. You just don't even know. So he's having a rough morning. Like his body's hurting. It happens. Our body hurts. He says, hey, man, I'm having a rough morning. I've got some things going on. I'm on my way. We were going to have coffee every Saturday and talk over strategy. And we'll announce a lot later. But anyway, while I'm sitting there, I see this guy that I've known my whole life. It's like a full circle kind of thing. Like he was the judge when we got custody of our granddaughter. And I'm sitting here and, I just feel like I got to talk to this guy. What I really wanted to tell him was, thank you for the kind words you said 11, almost 12 years ago that there's no way he remembers this. Of course, he thanked me when I told him later. The kind words he said of encouragement to me and my wife for a very difficult day. Well, I had known that he had wrote a book. In fact, I have that book. If you'll forgive my sliding over. He's going to be on our program. We talked for over an hour, and then Paul got there, and we ended up having this further conversation. But he wrote this great book. And this has so many connections in so many ways. But the Zenith Man, he's a local, it's the story of a local guy that was accused of murder. And he was his lawyer. I can't wait to read it. I know a lot of the story, but I don't know every in and out. Anyway, I've got a video we did on the spot. But what was amazing about it is after all this was over, late in life, this man finds out that he's autistic. And that's why he acted different. He's autistic. 79 years old. The guy finds out he finally got tested because he didn't know, and he finds out he's autistic. And it's a story of how a town didn't like a guy, thought he was this killer, and then finds out that he's really not this bad guy. It's an amazing story. But then we have all these other things that come into that. There's other tentacles that come off the story. And I'm just sitting here like, God, you're so amazing. Stories that he shared. If I'd missed that, I would have missed that if Paul had been on top. I was like, Paul said, I am so sorry to be late. I said, don't worry about it, man. Like, come on down the street. He was like, tell Paul to come down here. I want to meet him. The name of the book is called The Zenith Man. And it's by McCracken Post, and that's the name of the lawyer. And this story is absolutely fascinating. And he has done some local stuff. In fact, he walked me down to the bookstore. One bookstore, it didn't work out, but he said, I'm glad this bookstore worked out. He's on Amazon, but this little bookstore took a chance. He sold 1,600 books out of that bookstore at 1,601. And the Atlanta Press would not let him use this this headline that they put in there. I don't know if you can see that. It's really hard to see. I'll get a better picture of it. But it's where they tried to just bury him in the press and make him look. His wife did die. But they accused him of it. And then come to find out there's some other thing. But Zenith Man, I promise you, this is a fascinating story. It's a local legend kind of thing. And this guy, the coffee shop we're drinking coffee in was his TV shop. So I got all these pictures and stuff, and he's going to come on soon. I've got his number. We just got to set it up. But Killer, if you ever get a chance, I'll give you the information, man. This is an amazing story. McCracken is a local lawyer. He served, he sat as a judge on, I think, juvenile court and stuff. This is where I met him at. But he's done two pretty big murder trials, and this is the one that he's known for. Well, really another one, but he was just a TV expert on the TV show. And they thought people thank him for the other one, which was a big local, not murder, but another big trial. But he says, I wasn't even connected. He said, but people think I am. But Zenith Man, which is great because you think of the Zenith TV and stuff. I don't know if I didn't ask him. I will ask him. But it's called Death, Love, and Redemption in a Georgia Courtroom. And, just God bless him. I mean, he walks in the bookstore and gives us almost a 10-minute video standing in front of the book, telling us little tidbits about it. And then when I bought the book, he walks over and, hey, it's good to be a kid. Nothing wrong with being a kid. And what I was going to show you is he autographed it somewhere here. And, it's not every day you're the only one in line to get someone's book, and then they are walking over to autograph it for you. You get all this stuff. Usually when you go to autographs like that, you get a real quick, hey, how you doing, whatever, And there it is. So he autographs the book for me while we're standing there, and just gave us all this time, and he told us a lot of stories and stuff. He's a storyteller and a great guy. He also, I didn't know this, he's adopted children out from overseas. He's a multifaceted man, and people around here would know him, and you know what I'm talking about. But this was a very young picture of the young couple, and it's a story. He's dead now too. He died sometime after they found out he was autistic. And he said there's still people that say, I think he did it, but they found out she had a medical condition. And anyway, he was found innocent. So he is innocent. You found innocent, he's innocent. So but it's a great story. It was just one of those mornings. I'm sitting here like I feel like I'm a fly on the wall of a lot of things that were in motion that God just put in motion. And I'm sitting here telling Paul, I'm like, this is absolutely God intended. One, I didn't even know we were going to meet until, golly, I think yesterday. We agreed we're going to start meeting. And hello, Michael. Then the fact that we meet, he's running late, I'm early. That's last time I was running late. And I ran into Mr. Poston, and I thank you so much, Mr. Poston, for your time. If you happen to see this, he gave us a video. We'll be putting it up, and we'll have him on soon. But I can't read the book. I can't wait to read the book. I cannot wait to read the book. I've been wanting to get it anyway. It was on my to-do list. And if I'd have bought it earlier, this day wouldn't have happened. So anyway, hope you're feeling good today, Michael. I'm just chit-chatting a little bit before I got to work later today. Work is never done. That's all right. But we were talking about it, the cases. We talked so many range. I mean, he's got so much experience with working in the local judicial system, and he understands it's not a perfect system. He said we make the attempt every day to get there, to get it right, but it's not always right. And he's worked a lot with. He told me a story locally where a kid went on YouTube, learned how to hotwire a car, and stole a car off a video, and they're getting kicked out of their housing because of all this, and just some different things are going on. Just crazy stuff. Goes in, learns how to. He's like, I forget how old. He's less than 15. I don't remember how much. Learns how to hotwire the car, goes and steals the car. And now they're losing their home. But it just really the situation of where we're at in America, and we talked about so many things, and he was talking about. He said, by definition, he said, I guess you would call me a liberal, because he's an old Southern Democrat. But those Southern Democrats were very conservative in the day. And so he said, I don't know what my label is. He said, but probably people right here would label me a liberal. He says, because I was a Democrat. But those, like I said, those, blue dog Democrats from years ago in Georgia were very conservative. It's switched a lot around here. And so we just had a Cracker Jack talk. I can't wait to have him on. That's an interview that will happen again and again, hopefully, because there's too many stories to tell in one sitting. But I want to have him on talk about the book first. So awesome, Killer Carl. I promise you, this is an amazing story. And he took a lot of heat for taking this case, a lot of heat. There were people that were mad at him. As lawyers, people get mad at lawyers. But it's one of those local legend kind of things where the guy was like the oddball guy, he's weird, he's strange, he's whatever. And then they would say, oh, now you're a murderer. And he said in the little clip I got, which I'm going to be airing later today, he said, listen, everybody just did their job. They weren't trying to do wrong. The law enforcement's just trying to follow up. They investigate a lady who's missing. Who they find out is dead, because they hadn't been in contact. And this quirky kind of guy, which is easy to not like, because, he would love it, Killer. He would love it. He was telling me about going to, what's it called? It's like a Comic Con, but it's Crime Con, I think he said they call it. And he said, here I am. And he was trying to talk to a lady who has a really big platform. I won't say the name. And he said, at this place, they figure everybody's guilty. So he said, I was a little bit out of place because in my case, the guy didn't do it. He said, but hey, it's a case. They had me in there. And he said, but everybody else is like, yeah, they did it. Here's the book. And they're selling their books about the crime. So you get into that crime. That's a deep hole when you get into the crime stuff. And I have an interest in it. I sure do. I am talking about Poston. You can see there, Michael, the book, and there's McCracken Poston, and Michael knows what I'm talking about. This is a big story that was in our area in the town of Ringo, Georgia, and McCracken has been on the TV many times with many different cases, and that's who I spent my morning with by accident. Well, I say accident; it was just God just ordained this morning, and but. I love this kind of stuff. That's what makes me have a good time doing this, was meeting people, and you start hearing all these stories. He told me a funny story about a local broadcaster, which I'm not going to share. If he decides to share that out, he does, Michael. He does. Let me put that up. You know what? There's got to be somebody do that. He does. He's done some different kind of cases, and he himself is an interesting character. He will deflect that, but McCracken Poston is a great interview just in and of himself. It's much like the lawyer in Chattanooga, who's an author too. I'm trying to get on. What is his name, Michael? Jerry. is it Jerry Daniels? God, I hope I ain't saying that wrong. But he's also was a lawyer, still is, I guess, and an author, and has covered some big stories in Chattanooga. Much the same thing. They've taken cases other people wouldn't touch, and they take heat for that, especially in small towns. Especially in small towns, that can get you burnt down. So I go in the shop, and I had no clue when I'm standing in front of the shop. I didn't know that was his TV shop. So I said, it's amazing. I told Paul, when you walk back in a shop, then I talked to them. We're going to do a piece with them too. And you see the little corner. I said, I didn't even notice that the first time I walked in here. I didn't even notice all the pictures, the big Zenith TV sign. Or it was, it's just an amazing thing how it all came together. So the Zenith man, and somebody that's put their heart and soul into a book. I'm an author. I'm all into that. And there's also Three Ravens Publishing, which we are going to have on Halloween night for the book release party. They meet at the same place, and I'm going to try to go down and meet with them. They're just great people. But this is he's going to come on and talk about this book, and I'll leave the telling to him because he knows it much better than me. But I'm going to read the book before he comes on. That's always wise to do, so you can kind of know where he's going. But yeah, that's another one, the Bobby Lee Cook, who they built Matlock off of. And of course, his daughter. We got a lot of local legends around here. Of course, he is deceased now too, I believe. But his daughter is a judge. But yeah, Bobby Lee Cook, I'm telling you, man, that's another one. You're right. Small town America. What is that? Tryon? He had his office in Tryon, Georgia. But Bobby Lee Cook, that's a whole nother story. And he took that guy, Matlock, when you watch it, you could tell they took some of his stories, and because some of the stuff he pulled in courtrooms, you probably get in trouble for today, but it was effective stuff. And he was the master at kept making you have doubt. And that's all you have to have in a case, is that you are not 100% certain that someone did it. That's all you're looking for as a defense lawyer. And Bobby Lee Cook was the master. There's a lot of really good ones out there across the country. Bobby Lee Cook stands up with any of them. Absolutely. Anyway, it's just I know, man. I know. That's why I'm not going to say the name. I don't know. But she didn't take, whoo, boy, she's rough. Oh, he taught her well. Let me just say that. She learned from her dad, and he taught her well. But it's just been a fun morning. I can't wait. Me and Paul are meeting for coffee. By the way, Michael, you already come up one day and meet us for coffee there in Ringgold, and we're going to be doing little video spots around the town, and we're also going to meet with the merchants. We already got a couple things lined up, and we're going to do some man on the street kind of stuff from the town there, and it's exciting. I love being out like that. That's when I'm in my element. I go do all that so I can come and sit in the chair and get on the microphone, is to be the man on the street. Now, I know sometimes we just have to get people to come in, and we do that, absolutely. But my skill, if I have one, I don't know that I have a skill, but if I have one, it is to be out in the public and shaking hands and talking to people and just letting it flow the way it's supposed to flow. That is absolutely, Michael says, Bobby Lee had one years ago, had a pair of bloody shoes, reliable evidence. He got the shoes on before recess, and after recess, the blood was gone. Hey, I know. I don't know all the stories, but he was, I guarantee you nobody wanted to go up against him because he was tough. Well, you know what he did? He made himself the story. So that created diversion in a jury. Is they're watching Bobby Lee Cook do all these things. He was a person bigger than life. And that's how that Matlock persona was the same suit. Because didn't he wear the white suit, if I remember right, Michael? He wore the white suit. He looked like the Southern gentleman. But in action, he acted in a lot of different kind of ways. he could be that Southern gentleman. He could also be very hard. I wouldn't have wanted to be on a stand with him cross-examining me. I wouldn't want that. You do? Well, we'll have to do a show about old Bobby Lee and have to come up and share those stories. Absolutely. I imagine there's a lot of stories. I need to go down there in town and just get some audio or some video, little interviews with people, and see what they have to say about old Bobby Lee. He was a heavy drinker. Yeah, I think I heard that. You know. There's a lot of people in the court system that are heavy drinkers. Let's just say that. But anyway, cool stuff. Cool stuff. Authors, accused killers, autism, just so many different ways you could go down different roads with this. And, well, yeah, I got it, man. But if you got a personal story, I want to hear it, you know. Her name is, God, what's her name? I know it. She uses her other name too, hyphenated, Cook. I can't remember what it is right now. Off the top of my brain is still in a fog from these allergies. I'm getting a little better. Voice is still a wreck. My chest is a little better. Yeah, but these small town things. Another story I would like to do is the town in Alabama where they took out, what was the guy that was the attorney general or whatever? I mean, they just plain, yeah, Christina something Cook or Cook something. I can't, man. My brain ain't working. But she worked heavily with, now she got in some trouble. Well, I say trouble. There was a lot of people weren't happy. Didn't she kind of dress down some Georgia State patrolmen in a courtroom one day or something? I seem like I remember that. That ain't been too long ago. A lot of people got upset. But, you know, that's what, think about how many TV shows and movies were made off of small town sheriffs, judges, and things like that. You get these, the rich, like In the Heat of the Night. It was all about the rich landowner and the sheriff and the out-of-town guy. And you get all of that. Sheriffs in small-town America are very powerful. Judges are very powerful. The person who's richest man in town or richest woman, they carry a lot of weight. And you get a lot of stories. You get a lot of stuff people say, you know, they've covered things up, you know, they influence this. I mean, that's just the way it is. And some towns are set up different, but sheriffs have a lot of power throughout the history of small town South. Sometimes not for the good, you know. Conley, thank you. And I think she says it. Did she say Cook Conley? I think so. Cook Conley, yeah. But she uses Conley, married name. I think she's still on the bench. I think. Not sure. But yeah, I love that kind of stuff. I'm an old courtroom guy. That's why I was telling McCracken. I said, you know, I'm a nerd. I like to serve on jury duties. I know it sounds crazy. I haven't done it in a long time. I just find the whole process amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I don't know. It's just sometimes I wonder if I didn't miss my calling sometimes earlier in life. But no, because my calling was to preach. But I do have a big interest in true crime and, you know, the court system and how they work. And I think you're right, Michael. That's where I think, because the Lookout Mountain Judicial Circuit is that circuit. And she does a lot of the, what do you call it, the drug task force cases and stuff, which is the Lookout Mountain Circuit. Covers a lot of counties and stuff. So I think you hear a lot about cases that are before her in relation to that. So great morning, man. I had to get out of there. Like, I got to go. I just like, every time we would stop talking, we would go into something else, and he was gracious to give us time. And then Paul comes along, and it was just, and then Paul had an uncle who knew somebody he knew that used to work in the newspaper business, because he's like, that name sounds familiar. And I'm telling you, man, that's what I love about small town America is everybody knows somebody, and you start putting the pieces together, and you find out that you're all somehow interconnected through jobs, family, marriages, whatever, careers, like I said, or you have a distant cousin that did this, and they remember that name, and the guy you remember was the same name as him. Paul, I mean, crazy, absolutely crazy. And then we go in and sit under a coffee, and I'm looking up, and I see the TV shop sign. So I got a picture of Paul under that. By the way, Michael, right beside that is another legend that traveled throughout the South and the Midwest, the Goat Man. And I know you remember stories about the Goat Man. So we ended up talking about the Goat Man a lot, and how he traveled about with all them goats. And around here, all the old timers, of which I'm one, I don't remember meeting the guy, but he died in Georgia. I think he died in a nursing home down in Georgia. But if you look up the Goat Man, that's a whole nother legend that all these old timers remembered well. They would stop and buy pictures from him and stuff. Them goats, man. He come through this area a lot. I think he saw himself as a preacher or whatever at one time, and crazy stuff, man. That's what makes that's the Americana that I get. When you get past all the same old, the box store sameness that goes across America, I hate that. I can't stand it. I like uniqueness. I like small town America, small business owners. And Paul's just sending me a message. He wants the picture that I just mentioned sent to him, and I will. But man, the Route 66 folks, and how all these people took these trips on Route 66, and people grew up remembering that, and all these little roadside cafes and stores and stuff like that. Everybody has memories of that, and you can still get on the Route 66. They've tried to hold on to a lot of that. It'll never be like it was because of the interstate systems, but the Route 66 was important, and it should be important. And we gotta hold on to that. Those local, legendary places where you go through, and that's where the movies are looking for stuff to shoot a movie around. Is that kind of stuff? They can build a set anywhere, but they can't get that, so they lack those little roadside stops. A little hole-in-the-wall place, but oh so important to the story. Michael says they had gypsies come through. Yes, he did. Johnny Cash came down through Lafayette for the concert. He also got arrested in Walker County. Remember that? That's a local story here too. Johnny Cash is greatly loved throughout the South. The Man in Black. My only connection to Johnny Cash is at one time in high school choir. I didn't even want to be in the choir. They messed my schedule up and threw me in the choir. And I had to sing Folsom Prison Blues or something with a guitar that had no strings on it in front of the old folks at the Chattanooga old folks home or something. I was in high school. And the reason I got that song was because I had the deepest voice in the class. Think about that for a second and it'll make a whole lot of sense. Need I say more? That's why he did a free concert to thank Sheriff Ralph Jones. Ralph Jones is another long-time local sheriff. A lot of stories about him. Ralph Jones. Absolutely. And, if we were to talk to Killer Carl up there in his area, there'd be all those, you'd hear about all the stuff that they have. And that's the cool, thing. That's why there'll always be TV shows and podcasts and all this stuff, because you have those that are on and they dig into these local stories, that sometimes get on a national map. And, like I said, this case here got in the press and became a big story. bigger than the local legend because of that. So on the back, A&E has a quote about it. American Justice, and the a New York Times best-selling author also was talking about the book on the back because it struck a nerve. It struck a nerve. Yeah, amazing, man. Again, I hope everybody's having a great Saturday. It's beautiful here, perfect weather. Paul said perfect golf weather, um, and I guess it would be. I don't really do golf, but it's a little cooler in the mornings, but it's not cold. And Ringo today they were doing this thing where it's like junk day, so there's all these people set up, which is how I met him because they were coming out to sell some stuff. And you put up a table and sell your stuff. They sell your junk, your junk is somebody else's treasure. And I wish I didn't have time to stay and look around. But it was valuable time spent in valuable ways. And it just kind of brought some things full circle that I really need to be about. It's just amazing. We didn't decide to even meet until, like I said, it was yesterday, day before 1. And I was like, I can't believe this. It's like, God is so good to us to let us just have those moments in life that are, and then on top of that is all the other good stuff that's going on that we're working on. And some other things that we developed on the fly that you're going to start seeing very soon for our Main Street USA features that we really have never fully explored. That's fixing to change in a big way. I am so excited about that. So I hope you have a great weekend. Like I said, I've got to work today. I'll be in and around the socials all day long though. Killer Carl always has a great Saturday night free for all lineup. You guys make sure you attend. People like James, Empty Pockets Podcast is usually there. Tim is there. Sometimes Big Tony, sometimes Violent Vixen. I think I got her name right. God bless her. And I was thinking of I want to make sure I got that right because Skillet. I couldn't think of his name. Skillet. T Skillet. He looks like a lawyer. Skillet looks like a lawyer. And he likes to dig in. He's like or an investigative reporter. He looks like the guy that broke like Watergate or something, Like, oh yeah? Well, you said you were here, but you were not there. You were here. I love that. They filmed Water for Elephants here in the county. I'm not familiar with that movie. I may have heard that name, but I don't know anything about it, to be honest. And really, as you go and you think about what I'm talking about, a lot, podcasting and all the great, because even McCracken said, isn't it amazing today, all this that's going on with the podcasting? I said, it absolutely is, man. It's just fascinating. And if you think about it, the movie industry's gotten like that. They're tearing down, in a lot of ways, the power of the film studios. Those guys are in trouble. They're going down. They have created some great movies, but anymore, they just produce a lot of junk, woke junk. And the independent filmmaking is where it's at. Because with today's technology, you can do so much. And you don't have to have these huge studios. And you don't have to pay the kind of money that, and nothing against them making the money. I don't have nothing against it. If you make it, you make it. But you can do with a laptop and a couple of really good cameras and some sound equipment, you can go make a movie anywhere if you know what you're doing. And these younger people that are really into the technology and the storytelling and all that, they're making movies for less than, sometimes as cheaply as $10,000, and it's a great movie. I mean, they're really good at it. I remember them making that, but I don't remember what it was about. Didn't they film that around the Cove? Wasn't that the one, or was that a different one? Some of the scenes were around the Cove, I think, if I remember right. Which is a great setting for any kind of movie or series or anything. That would be a beautiful area. if you could do something like that. Our area is really great for things like that. Just so many great places to make a movie or get some shots or whatever, you know. And the heat of the night was Covington, Georgia, until dude got in so much trouble they had to kick him out of. They had to kick him out of this because of him. He wanted to keep him on the show, so I think they moved to North Carolina and started making it there. But Covington, Georgia, that's where they filmed the majority. They still had their Hollywood stuff, but all the outdoor scenes and stuff, I think, was Covington. We're very blessed. We really are. And to have so many places that you can go to where things like that have happened. I know I got a friend, a coworker, they're into Stranger Things, and they go down to Jackson, Georgia, where they filmed a lot of that or all of it or whatever. It was good for the tire business because we were 27 North. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what's good for the tire business, Michael? You know this. A tailgate down with a box of nails on the back of it. Or roofing, you know what I'm saying? That's the ones that get them is roofing nails. Let one of them bounce around the back of an open tailgate, and there'll be people buying, getting tires plugged and getting new tires left and right. I've often wondered sometimes if the tire people on slow months didn't find a way to go create some business. It's like, hey, Billy, a young kid working for you. I need to take this truck and just drive around today. I got a couple errands for you. I want you to run. Make sure you hit the major. I need you to get up on the interstate. Yeah, storms would do it. we do a little boost in business. We just need a little boost. Every time my wife ever got a nail in the tire, we'd go to the same guy for a long time. He's not there anymore. And he said, well, I've been plugging tires this week. He said, I can't hardly stay caught up because obviously somebody had dropped a bunch on the interstate. And if it hits just right, that's a new tire. And nowadays, sometimes they'll try to make you buy that tire. They won't plug it. They'll say, I can't plug that. They'll try to get you to buy a new tire. Some cases, that's the right move. Some cases, that's bull. That's bull. I've seen, I know for a fact, I've seen one that they wouldn't plug a particular company. We went somewhere else and got it plugged. They're just trying to create new business because the plugged tires went up. It ain't cheap anymore, but they're not clearing what they clear off a tire. So, and now they got you locked in as a customer, which you'll probably come back there, you know, for your warranties and whatever. So I've actually went and picked up about 20 pounds of nails from the road. I wouldn't have ever done that. A guy from Philip said he did. I told him God's watching. Yeah. Well, you can just get a magnet. They'll just come to you. You don't have to pick them up, really. We'd have to take them off the magnet. But you see those people that do that at creeks and stuff. They just put the magnets out there and see what comes up. It's wild, all the stuff that goes on. Stuff that is found after decades being under the water. If I had one, I'd put a tube in before I said, yeah. Yeah. Well, then everything's went away from the tubes, you know. I guess mainly now. The days gone by. That's how you kept your upper body strong, man. Tires ain't no joke, man. Tires are heavy, especially them truck tires. Start fooling around some of them truck tires, man. You're talking about lifting some weight, you know. And sometimes the machines, you know, tell them all now. They know what to do. In the days, I bet you go back long enough, it wasn't as computerized. you got a little bit of data, but you had to kind of know what you were doing to get that tire balanced. That today they could put a snot-nosed kid on it, and it pretty much tells him everything he needs to know. It probably does it for him. But I used to open at 5, and I had people going to work. One guy blowed one right at 5:30 a.m. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I bet they were glad you were open. I mean, if you got to have it, you got to have it. I could fix anything that could be fixed. Oh, yeah. You ever have one blow up on you? Putting the air in it. Boom. Oh, the old bounce them off of there. And if did y'all just do tires? Because a lot of times you got the tire off, you could say, hey, them brakes are looking a little thin. Excuse me, I'm still choked up. Used to balance them on the car spin balance. I'll tell you another thing a lot of people don't do anymore either. A lot of these tire stores, because I guess, I don't know why, some of them won't do line your car up. Which if you don't get lined up, if it's out of line, them tires going to be in bad shape in a while. So, but I've been at places and bought tires. They say, we don't do that. So I have to go to another place, get the front end lined up. You know, because it'll be like this or like that. You're going to ruin the tire. No brakes can be a big liability. Well, yeah, it could be. Well, couldn't a tire be a liability? I guess. Maybe that falls back on the manufacturer. I don't know. You know, unless you didn't put a bolt on or lug nut or something, missed it. I bet you've wore out some air tools torquing down them lug nuts. You know what makes me mad today is the crapola that you got to have that one bolt just for that one lug nut. It's a bunch of crap, man. It's the way they make you, the way they do you with your cars and stuff just makes me mad. Like you can't work on it. I know that's just bull crap. They try to make you have to have a special tool that only they have. So or you got to build it because you can't work on your car. That's crazy. Well, there's no doubt about it. Anyway, I saw a guy in an RV one time, and he pulls off the road, and he goes to NTW, I think it was, and he wanted to get some tires, which the RV tires in and of itself would have been expensive. But while they got the tires off, he finds out he needs brakes. So they're doing a brake job all the way around and tires, new tires all the way around. I told my wife, and this has been years ago, I said, this dude just dropped a bunch of money. I don't even know what it would be because those tires are going to be, all of it's expensive. Anything for an RV is going to be very high. Very, very high. My impacts lasted pretty good because I bought the best I could. What was the best for you, man? What'd you use? Just curious. But the bad part, if y'all put them on too tight, then us suckers that didn't have them had to get that tire off. We're standing up on top of the four-way trying to get that thing. Thank you, Jake. Trying to get that thing straightened out. Oh, I hated RVs. Some took a lot of, yeah, they do. Greyhound bus was terrible to work on, I bet. Ingersoll Rand. I'm familiar with them. Absolutely. Hello, Mike. Rebel. Hope you're doing well today. I'm just chatting on a Saturday. I got to go to work here shortly, so I'm going to be on for a few more minutes. Appreciate everybody jumping in here. It's been a fun morning again. I'll say it. We're going to have the man on McCracken Poston who wrote this book about this guy who was charged with her murder, but he didn't kill her, and she wasn't killed. He was found innocent. It's a great story. Zenith, man, we're going to have this guy on the podcast soon. We're going to put together I've got a video I'm going to air up until the time the show comes on, and I'm looking forward to it. So go buy the book. Go buy the book. Carol Carl said it is on audio, and he bought it on audio book, and I am sure he will find interest in that book because that's a fascinating story. He had a lot coming from other shops. They had crossed them up, and we had break studs and replace them. Oh, yeah, that's fun stuff right there. That's when you go, daggum. This is going to be one of them days. Well, like I said, Jake, I don't ever change it on there. I need to get in there and start changing it. I just hadn't started, but I'm going to. Thank you, though. You are awesome. Thank you, Jake. Me and Jake will be back on around the first of the month with a wrestling show. So we got to figure out. It'll be we'll do a Sunday night again. Couple weeks we'll do that again. He has. That's the best kind of person to talk to. Excuse me. When you talk to him, he's so soft-spoken, such a gentleman. But he is perfect as a defense lawyer. That's a perfect job for him. It'll be 10 p.m., Jake. I'll just have to let you know the date. I think that 10 p.m. time slot works great. Speaking of which, folks, we're also doing, I say we, just because I don't like to use the word I, but just so you know, right now, it'll just be me, but doing some Clapper and TikTok lives inside of those platforms. I would have done one last night, but I was sick. I gave all I had. Time the show was over, I was done. And I still cut a video and did a couple other things before I left the studio. I was done. But starting back Monday night, we'll get back into that. A lot of good things. Hey, folks, if you don't have pickaxe, need to do that. Need to get there and use our promo code. I guess I should have had that ready. Not really a promo code, but our referral code. And it's a great platform. And if you have Rumble, you're going to want pickaxe. I promise you, because they work well together. And let me see if I can get into our pickaxe, and I'll just refer out of there. But just a great platform. I love what's going on there, and make sure that I got all kinds of little things popping up on my screen I need to clear out. Podcasting has its own challenges, but we had a challenging week this week. I mean, a challenging week with podcast. I don't know what it was. It was just one of those crazy weeks for that, but we survived. We're survivors. And I even put out a video that had no sound. It's just been one crazy week. I don't know what it is. Sometimes everything goes against you. It doesn't work. And you're like, what the heck is going on? So we appreciate your patience. And I'm going to pop that up here in just a second. And because you do want to do this. And let's see here. Should be a great weekend for football. Looking forward to that. Georgia's off this week. They get a week off, then they got Alabama. And Alabama. I've been enjoying watching all the. I've really been enjoying all the Tennessee videos. And it's what's funny is it's not Georgia fans doing it. It's everybody else that don't like Tennessee. And it's like everybody was a Georgia fan for 1 week. And so it's Mississippi State fans. It's all these different people. And it's just crazy. It's crazy how many people hate Tennessee. I'm watching these videos and I'm having a laugh. But I don't know if you've seen the guy. The guy for the Mississippi State fans that does the videos each week about the scores and all that, that guy is so funny, man. I hope to have that guy on the show one day. He is absolutely fantastic. I'm going to put this in the chat, but follow that address. We'll put it on the screen. And that's our referral code for Pickaxe. And the Southern Fried will get credit for that as you go. And it's free, man. Just go get it. Use our referral code. And, you know, it's a great thing. It's a great thing. And it's going to link up well because Pickaxe allows you to do articles and stuff. So a lot of times people leave us comments. It'd be nice to be able to have a blog top atmosphere. Well, we have that now with Pickaxe, and we can talk about that. So if you don't have that, get it today. Thank you, Michael, the others who have done that. We've had a few refer, and Jake says he's got a new laptop. Good for you, young man. Jake is goes live all the time throughout the day. I get his notifications. Sometimes he asks me up. Sometimes I'm busy. I just can't do it, man. I'm at work. I don't think they'd like that. So I do what I can. But enjoy your football. Enjoy church. Hope you're going to church. It's a good church. Jake's live right now on YouTube. See, he's all over the place. He's a man on a mission. A man on a mission. Jake's good. Jake's good, folks. I like Jake. He's a good guy. Although he gets on to me all the time. I have to put him in timeout every once in a while. He jumps on me. I have to put him in timeout. Tell him stop. If Jake's ever on you about something, he stays on you about it till you get his satisfaction. Charlie Kirk Memorial. I think that's Sunday, right? Been seeing them put up the big mural. Be a very emotional weekend. Pray for that family. To heck with the haters. I'll say it again. To heck with the haters. Just go hide somewhere. Put your head back under the rock. Leave these people alone. Let them grieve. I don't care if you like the man or not. Let this family grieve. Everybody deserves privacy during this time. If you got nothing nice to say, just shut up. I mean, seriously, this is not a freedom of words and speech and all that. This is common decency. Let the family grieve. You are less than human if you're going to attack a widow and their kids and everything and try to make yourself look good. You don't. You make yourself look stupid and evil. Leave the family alone. My God. I don't. It's like when somebody does a heinous act and they die and the family comes gets the body and they do a private ceremony. Leave them alone. Let them have their private ceremony. That was their kid. They're hurting too. They didn't, plan on. There's been many stories like that where, because they can't have a public one anyway because they would get, attacked. And in this case, they have to hide out. The family does to grieve that, what's the whole thing has happened. Everybody's lives are impacted, but pray for the Kirk family, Turning Point USA, all the people that knew this man that were impacted, all the people were there. It's going to be an emotional weekend. I mean, and it's really impacted our nation, and I know they're not listening to me right now, but if they happen to see this program out there just by accident and you disagree with me, that's fine. That's the beauty of America. But seriously, if you're going out there just to attack somebody at a funeral service, you're sick. There's something wrong with you. Leave them alone. You don't got to go. You don't got to fool with it. Let them have their time. And now we have the talk. We'll talk about this tomorrow in greater depth for the SFP News Desk. But this Al-Qaeda threat that the government's saying is a very real threat that they're looking to do damage at sporting events and everything. We're going to talk about that tomorrow night. But let's pray to the good Lord. I know the security will be high. It should be high. And let's pray that everything goes according to plan. And I don't want to see one knucklehead out there flipping them off, acting stupid. By the way, shout out to the ICE. Salute these protesters blocking your vehicles and stuff. I'm enjoying watching people bounce off the ground. I got to admit it. I'm enjoying it. They're finding out it's a new day. You don't stand in front of vehicles and just stand there. No, you get moved. And if you can either move or you can be moved. And they're moving people in very strong ways. You should not be there. It's not your deal. Nobody tells you to go stand in front of a vehicle that's trying to move. You are stupid. Just because I don't like something, I don't go stand in front of their vehicles. You're not going to stop nothing. All you're trying to do is get your 15 minutes of fame, get your video that you can put out on social media and say, look at me, I'm opposing the government. You have done nothing. All you've done is made yourself look stupid and revealed how stupid you are. You're not stopping anything. You're not a civil rights hero. You're trying to defend something that is illegal. You're not that. I don't know why it is, and most of them are, well, I'm not going to go there because I'll end up getting hate mail. But you can just go look at who's doing it, and you can kind of see what I'm talking about. But how in the world? Oh, Jake said Robert yelled at him. I don't remember him yelling at you, Jake. When did Robert yell at you? But yeah, Florida said if you don't move, that's your problem. Yeah. You're not going to stop the vehicle. I want to say it. I'm just not going to because I'll end up having people get upset with me about it. But if you will look at who is doing most of the ones, not all of them, but most of the ones that are standing in front of those vehicles, it will be fun. It'll be very clear who most of these people are. Good grief. Crying and wailing like that, Satan has came down with all the demons and is attacking them, like they're the good person, they're the victim. And they're breaking the law. It's like these environmental nuts locking arms across the highway, trying to stop people from going to work, getting their wife to the doctor or the hospital so she can deliver their babies and all that. These people they're not heroes. They're stupid. Well, that's true, but I'm in a particular type of the left. I don't have a problem saying that. I'll tell you offline, Michael. I'll tell you offline what I'm talking about. I'll just get in trouble. I'll get in trouble. And I'm not afraid of trouble. I'm not back at that. But some hills is just not worth really going up on. And today, I'm having a great day. I really don't need to go there. I'll just go leave it alone. I'm happy. I'm feeling better. I'm still congested. My head's still in a fog. But I'm having a good day. A great day, Matt, even. And I'm fixing to go, go do my job. And later tonight, I'm going to listen to Killer Carl. And they'll be off the chain tonight. I just got a feeling it's like a stir. There's a feeling in the wind. So I'm just telling you, this is a weekend where anything could happen. Sadly, anything could happen. Yeah, Michael, I'm fixing to go. You have a blessed day. Go rock it, man. Go have a great Saturday. Beautiful weather. You ought to be able to save money. You should be able to, cut your air off. It's a little warm today, maybe a little bit of air. But, it's just beautiful, at least where I'm at. Maybe you're not. If it's not, I'm sorry. But Saturday night chain match. Sometimes, man, they bringing it, man. Sometimes they bring it so hard, they argue with each other. That's good. Hey, we all do it sometimes as brothers. Me and Rob's done it. We get locked on a subject. Neither one of us willing to back down. It happens. You see it happen. Now, sometimes we're just playing. Other times we're not. That's a next morning kind of phone call. What the heck? Well, Jake says Robert yelled at him. So it does happen. The problem we're going to have is if the ladies ever get mad. If they do, I'm hiding out. I'm going in the federal witness protection program. Oh my God, Robert's calling me right now. I've called him out. He's calling me. Let's see if I can take this call live on the air. Hello? Hey, I'm live on the air. I'm fixing to hang up, man. I'll give you a call right back. All right, man. See ya. Dallas Rob. I was like, wow. Call his name, and he appears. Hopefully he's better. He's had a rough weekend. Y'all keep praying for him. We're going to get off of here. It's been had a lot of fun. Once again, if you came in late, and I get nothing out of this. Most of the things I do, we don't get anything. I just like helping people. This is a great story. We're going to have this man, McCracken Poston, is going to be on with us about this man who they said killed this lady, but he didn't do it. And he helped prove it. And this is a book about that story. And we have a look for today. I have a video that will be airing about that. Hopefully I didn't film too long. I think it's short enough I can still get it up from my phone without having to transfer it to the computer later, Michael. And we'll put up some pictures too. And we're going to have him on soon. Maybe as soon as next week. We'll have to see what his schedule is. But within the next 14 days, we'll have him on and we'll be advertising for it. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. It's a great story. And if you do miss it, the shows are out there. All you got to do is go and pull it up later. Also, we're re-airing some of our recent videos. I aired 2 today. So they're back out there playing. You may catch those. That's a planned thing. We're re-airing some of our programs back so that they're just out there filling some space and people might be able to catch them that didn't get to see them. So thank you for your support of the Southern Fried Podcast. Thank you to everybody that's come in here. If I missed your name, I'm sorry. Team Smith 39. God bless you on the Instagram side. All the folks that are out there watching, there's a number of people watching. I don't have your names, but that's okay. Thank you for watching. I have people tell me all the time, hey, I watch the show. I just don't say nothing. Shout out to you. A shout out to you. And, appreciate you supporting everything we do. Without you, it's nothing. We have nothing. It's not even worth mentioning. And we're working hard every day to make it better, to build it better, work hard. I want to get the guy's video. I'm going to ask him. I'm going to share that out today. It's very inspiring to me. He's a fellow business owner. He works hard. He's funny as crap. Funny about the football and stuff. His video today should be Business 101 and starting business late in life. And I'll say it this way. I always say, if you have a dream, follow it. It does not matter how old you are. Do not let life, age, limitations, whatever, slow you down. You just find a new way to accomplish it. That's what people with disabilities do all the time. They always find a way. Quit making excuses in life and follow your dreams. And never let anybody tell you can't do it. Are you going to fail? Sure, we all fail. We will all fail. We failed here at the podcast. We do it often. I bombed out this week. I loaded a video, had no sound. It happens. But we don't let it keep us down. We keep moving. Just keep going. Keep building. Keep digging. Keep working. And never tell yourself that you can't. My mom and dad used to tell me all the time, can't never did nothing. If you use that word, you'll never accomplish what you're supposed to accomplish in life. Do something. Be something. And don't worry what anybody else thinks about it. Most of the things I've ever tried to do in my life, most people were not supportive of. I had a small inner circle of people who believed in me, and they prayed for me, and they cared about me, and that's the way it is today. There's an inner circle of people that really care. And there's a lot of people come along, and they're always trying to rain on your parade and tell you can't do something. Or they're always trying to make suggestions. I'm coachable. I'll take suggestions. Excuse me. But be wary of wolves that come in sheep clothing, because those people will come and they don't want to give you suggestions to make you better. They really want to tear you down. You got to have discernment. You got to know who cares about you and who don't. And some people get close to you to steal and to thieve and do all that stuff too. We're blessed. We got great people that are helping us, great people that are building with us. And God's good to us every day. Have a great Saturday. Football Saturday in America. I don't even know the biggest games now. I ain't even looked. But there's some out there. Go out there and watch them. They're kicking off right now. There'll be some playing right now. And throughout tonight and then tomorrow, if you watch. If you don't, it's fine. NFL games tomorrow. Shout out to James Cook, former Dog. He had a great week this week in football. Love that guy. He's amazing talent. And go be an inspiration to somebody, because you're all inspiring to me. We're out. We get the music pulled up. We'll see you next time. Keep praying for us. We need it. Take care. We get the right song here.
It's a complicated life for the southern people. Like a small town, nothing's real. Mama's still doing wrong. Don't tell the preacher. Nothing really changes except the weather. If you can't